Hello everyone, it's Red with the RedDragonLeo.com, and the market today did not bounce very much at all. I thought it would go further than it did, but it basically went up here, one little brief candle right there, and that was pretty much it. You can see here on the 60-minute chart, it is trying very hard to come up. And you look at this, and you would think, okay, it's ready to come up here and put in a big tower and make a at least a wave 2 up to retrace, say, I don't know, 50% of this move. That's not necessarily the case. This thing could continue on down, even though it could possibly get an early morning pop in the morning just to get up here and get over ball. You know, Ben Bernanke is speaking tomorrow. I don't think he's saying much, but whatever, you know, the gangster's talking. People listen when the gangster talks. So, you know, you look at it, you compare this one to this one, the biggest difference between these is where the daily chart was. When you look at this period right here, it looks like about the 27th through the, I don't know, 24th or something. You look at that on the daily period, and you can see the market was already oversold and working its way back up. Now we are overbought and ready to roll over. There's no question this market is rolling over a lot quicker than what I thought it would. I thought it would maybe work its way back up here and put a few smaller humps and work down. Put in maybe a double or a triple negative divergence. But it's not looking like they want to do it. They simply want to take this market in a 1,000-point range up, 1,000-point range down, up, down, up, down. And they've been doing that successfully here with very, very little chances of the bears or bulls getting out. So, any rally we have tomorrow, I don't think will stick. I think it'll be a one-day wonder if it closes positive. It may turn tail in the afternoon and just roll right back down and go back and close negative again. It may close positive and put in a topping tail, is what I'm saying. So, you know, this right here, it could take all day to go up here and roll over and maybe not get very high at all, or it could just be very, very small. It's hard to say at this point. Now let's pull down my own chart and look at the 2-hour chart. This is a 60-minute chart. Let's look at the 2-hour chart here. Okay, here's the ugly candle that you can clearly see here in the 60-minute chart, and that little bar up, I think that completes it for the day. Okay, yeah, okay, whatever. You can still see it. A big ugly sell-off there on the 60-minute chart. Not pretty at all. And you go here to the 30-minute chart, and you can see that big ugly bar from this bear flag that we formed all day long, which is, you know, it's hard to say whether or not this is it or not. It is very, very close to this major support line that I've been talking about the entire time, that we would go down here and possibly tag this and then run back up. So that's still in the cards. You can see the 30-minute chart here was at -5, worked its way up. It got to negative, I don't know, -2 or -1.5. Started to roll over because the MACDs here peaked out and died. Now, the question is it going to roll, curl back up after it dips down maybe, and then runs back up? That's a possibility if it holds this line right here, because this line is a very important line. You look here in the 60-minute chart, and this is the line I'm talking about. This is an extremely important line. That line needs to hold. It's done pierced this one here, which is not really that great of one, because it's hard to say exactly where the line should touch. Should it touch this one? Should it touch these highs? Here I touched it there on the high, and so actually if I double click on that and move it down just a hair to touch that, that changes a little bit. Let's see, it doesn't matter, it clearly pierced it the previous day, so either way, that line is not as important, I guess, at this point, because, well, one, it's already pierced through it, but this one here is an important trend line, this sloping one. It's a closer line. That's the more important thing. So the daily chart is looking like it's ready to turn down. Will it go down here and tag this early in the morning? I don't know. And then turn tail back up and go back up, at least for a intraday move. What I think is a possibility, because of this chart rolling over like this, possibility, we got 1, 2, 3 down days, and you've got here 1, 2, 3, 4 down days. Then you had this huge squeeze all the way up to here. You retraced over half. That looks like it, well, at least half. And it turned tailed and went right back down and closed with a spinning top, with a long topping tail. Now the next day it did rally up, which was a surprise, but you know, that I don't think that's the same scenario where we are today. I think if it does go up like that and it turns tail and goes back down, I think on a Thursday and a Friday, this would indicate a Thursday and Friday, I think it's going to continue down and bottom on Friday. So I don't think that we're going to go up, back down, put in a top like this, and then continue up the next 2 days. I don't see that. I don't know. I just don't see that. That happening again just seems a little out of character. If anything, I would more like see, you know, these multiple days down, then you have an up day, then you have one more flush out down, then you had your 2 up days, then a down. You see what I'm saying is, I think we've got one more big flush on down, and this time it could go down here to this line here. It's a possibility, 1285. That's a possibility. I don't know where it's going to go by Friday. It's really going to be dependent upon the news and things like that as to what's going on. So if we type in the VXX and take a look at that, I want to go over that. You can see the major trend lines that I've drawn. We have busted out of that. We did hit the fake print early in the morning. We actually went higher than it. 22.35 was the fake print, and I seen it down here telling you that, you know, it was going to go up. Now, again, I told you previously, there's no guarantee that these fake prints will be a turning point in the market. They only tell you that's where they're going to go to, and that is even not a guarantee always. It's because you're guessing at the timeline. But this is a clear breakout right here of this downward sloping trend line, and it looked like it rode it all day long. And if you look at it here closer on the 30-minute chart, you can see it went down, pierced it a little bit, came back, rode it down, and then pierced it one time, closed below it one time on the 30-minute chart, and then ran it back into the close. So you can see on the 30-minute chart it is wanting to go back up. So I don't know if it is done or not. When you look at it on the 2-hour chart, you can see the 2-hour chart is losing strength and putting in negative divergence here. If you draw your line from down here to here, it is not showing signs of turning over yet, though. So that's a concern. And this long bottoming tail, but you can't really call that a bottoming tail because it's on an up move. So that's sometimes deceiving. I forget myself sometimes that a bottoming tail has to be when you're going down, just like the topping tail has to be when you're going up. So when you go up like this and you see a topping tail, that tells you you're topped. So for tomorrow, we could come on back down here, back test this line. It is a possibility on a squeeze we could back test this line, but still be going up here on the 2-hour chart. Because when you look at the 60-minute chart, even with those 2 bars up like that, you can see we're up here in overbought territory. It's just not wanting to roll back down yet. It could at any time. There's no guarantee when it's going to happen on the VIX, and of course this will obviously make the market calm down if it rolls over. And so maybe something Ben Bernanke says, will relax the market a little bit, and the VIX will roll over, come back down here and back test this, and give you another opportunity to get short the market, because I still think that the market is going to take another leg down before it takes a rally. This is that very, very important trend line that the market did pierce through on the ES, all the way from the tops here. You can draw this one back. Okay, let's go further back, 6 months. You can see it. You can see this is a major, major top. We pierced through it, and look where we closed on a daily basis. We went all the way down there in the morning session before the market, actually it was in the night session, all the way down to 12.95 on the ES, and took out any longs that had stops there, I'm sure. And then they turned tail, went all the way back up, and closed right above this major support line. Now the next move, the next line down looks to me like this one here, but I could be off a little bit on it. It's not touching here or here. It's touching here, but so let's redraw this here. So if I draw that to right there, and let's move this up to touching it there. Yeah, that, well, okay, let me see here. That looks a little bit better. Okay, there. Okay, so it's touching that one. It's touching, no, it's not touching that one, but you get the idea here is about where we could go. There, we're touching there. Okay, so that's your kind of target down in that area, which is also a lot of support from this topping area here on the E-minis. But this long bottoming tail right here on the E-minis could mean, remember this was done after hours, or before hours, I guess you should call it. This could be the telltale sign that the market is about ready to stage a rally first before it continues further down. So it could very well be again a candle like this one here. Problem is that when you see these candles, they do go ahead and reverse the next 2 days. So I still say we have a lower low coming. If you look at this here on a 60-day chart, we're going to see, you can see this major trend line again. Let's go ahead and zoom in on it, and you can see what they've done. They're having trouble getting above it, as you can see, but we shall see what they do by the morning. It's always good to watch the ES. I've been watching it here lately, and just to get a feel for the market. That whole day that it stayed right there, that was your key right there, and that was a bear flag. That was your key that was going to drop, and it did. It dropped actually before the close of the day. So, and let's see, IWM, if we look at it, you can see exactly this horizontal support line. Let's see where that's coming in at. I've drew that some time back. Let's check it out. Ah, that was an important top right there. Look at that. And it went below it, put in, again, you can't call this a topping tail because it's on a move down. It's just an indecision. It tried to rally and it failed. It's just, the topping tail is only up here, so we can't really call that a topping tail. It's just an indecision move, which kind of gives you the idea that it wants to rally. It's like the bulls were defending this line. That's what it says, and the bears pushed it back down. So the bulls pushed it up and the bears pushed it down. So that's how you look at that on the IWM. And again, we go back to the 60-minute chart, and you can see that it did pierce it there into the close, but it is again oversold down here on the negative 2.5. My thoughts are like this: not Ben Bernanke, but the other gangster, George Soros. He recently came on TV on an interview back. He came on back here in this area right here and said that the economy was really, you know, possible meltdown in the economy, that was really looking bad. And as soon as he said that, the market rallied, as you can see. Here, he came on TV and said, it seems like everything is stabilized now. Only it wasn't him saying it. I think it was Warren Buffett this time, his reptilian brother. So those two reptilians basically are telling you the very key words that Lindsey Williams tells you to listen for, the code words. When they tell you that it's bot, or that it's horrible, it's going to collapse, blah blah blah, it's going to rally. When they tell you that it's stabilized and everything is good now, it's time to sell. And that's exactly what's happened. Now, I haven't heard either one of them, so I ask you listeners here to make sure that you keep me informed. If you hear either Warren Buffett or George Soros come on CNBC or any of the other Fox News, whatever, and hint at anything. Now, hint at anything saying that, you know, well, looks like we're going to have a double dip recession, blah, blah, blah. Time to get out of your shorts because they're going to squeeze it. That's what you got to keep in mind. Okay, so okay. So I think we've covered all of that. Now, if you remember the spiral charts, which I think are here. Now, the full moon here on the 15th, that is generally, this is not the spiral charts. Okay, here it is. Okay, so here we go. The full moon here on the 15th. It's off a little bit on this chart, but we could very well bottom into the 15th. Okay, so that is this Friday. So if we have a little bounce on Wednesday, it's probably just a shorting opportunity, and it's going to sell off and actually do the opposite of what normally happens on an options expiration. What normally happens is that it's bullish, but this time things are not looking that way at all. Things are looking bearish, and it's looking like it does want to put in some type of bottom on that area and then rally into the end of the month, which is the next new moon. And I don't know how it's going to go. I just don't know. I can't tell you at this point if we're going to go up here and hit our fake print or not, or if this is it. If we just go up and, you know, 2 weeks is a long time for it to rally, but it could just chop around. But if it does rally for 2 weeks, then yeah, we're going up hitting our fake print, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave push. If not, if it just moves up here just a little bit, kind of chops sideways for a couple of weeks and doesn't take out this high, then we just had a wave 2, and we're getting ready to have a wave 3. And of course this move here would be a wave 1, a 2, and this whole move would be a 3. So if you had a 2 up and you had a 3, then you'd have a 3 of a 3 starting in August. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but right now it's just not looking good. But the problem here, again, you have to look at the weekly charts, and they are wanting to push up. That's what leads me to believe that even though they are slowly losing strength and moving from 50 on the MACDs all the way down here to 20 and 14 here on the 2 moving averages, they're slowly working their way negative. That does not mean that the actual MACD histogram bars can't go up here and put in 1 or 2 days positive as it approaches 0, as it kind of just, you know, goes sideways. As this continues up towards this downward sloping resistance line that's not drawn there. So it could continue to do that, which would give it that last gasp of movement to take that out. So it's still a possibility. So keep that in mind. I don't want to think that that's not the case. Monthly, of course, is going to prevent the weekly from going too far because the monthly is so bearish. The monthly is struggling right now, curling over. It's not done yet. It's still up in positive territory, but it is losing strength. And this is why I think that even if they close out July with a new high, it could be an exhaustion gap, and that's it. Maybe it goes up, and it's hard to say if we're going to get it up there or not. I really don't know. We're not fake print. It's going to be not all fake prints work out. So, and I've had that since March of last year. If you forget what I'm talking about, just email me. But it's 138.86 on the SPY. Which, if you look at one of Cobra's charts, I think he shows the SPY 138. You can see 135 there, which was that high. So 138 is up here off the charts. It's approximately 1388, and that high there was 1370. What was it? I don't know, 1370 something. I've forgotten. Anyway, so the bottom line is for tomorrow, any movement up that goes up here and gets overbought, I think it'll get overbought quickly by the afternoon at the latest. I think it's going to roll back over and sell off. So this is just not looking healthy at all. It might try to curl back up, but everything's telling me that even though it might find support here at 1310, it is telling me that this move up here will not last very long. I don't think it's going to last into Friday. If it lasts all day Wednesday, then hey, that's great. But I don't think it'll last into Friday. It might not even last through Wednesday morning. Look at it. It's fighting the 30-minute chart, which is wanting to roll over, but I think it's going to push back up because of where it's at right here. See, the MACD line is at negative 5.0, and here's negative 2.5. It's wanting to push up. You got to give it a little bit of time to try to push up, maybe hit this resistance line right here and get a little bit above it. That would tell you tomorrow, even though it looks like it's ready to roll over, it might just chop its way back up and chop around and just move around and slowly work its way back up. Will it get to 38.2% retracement or 50% retracement? I don't know. I don't think it'll get above that high. The chances of that are slim. Might not get above that high. And of course, we could always just continue selling down. But I don't think that's the case. I think this is pretty close to bottoming here and ready to turn back up. I think this will turn back up. I think the 60 will push up, and we might end up with a positive close. But I do think we're getting ready to push up some tomorrow. Whether or not, again, we hold into Thursday and Friday is another story. We could literally crash on Friday, because this would obviously start a wave 3 down if it started on a Friday. So look out for that. I think this is a sellable bounce. So wherever it goes, either if it goes to the bottom here or it goes to the bottom here, look out for this to be overbought at the same time the 30 is and the 15, and take your short positions accordingly. So that's it for now, gang. Good luck, everyone. I think I've covered everything. Yeah, I think I did. So, all right. We'll see you guys on the vlog. And don't forget, keep your eyes out for fake prints. Email me, red@reddragonleo.com. Keep your eyes out for news on Warren Buffett, the reptilian Illuminati gangster, speaking, as well as the other reptilian, George Soros. So send me anything you got on them when they speak, so I know what they say, so we know when the bottom is and when the top is, because they'll tell us. Listen to their buzzwords, as Lindsey Williams said. Okay, gang, good luck. See you guys.